you're willing, I'd like to ask you, Ari Rastegar, what is the biggest risk?
The biggest risk is ego, always to me, and I say that in whatever instance that you're working on, as whether as a CEO, as a father, as a husband, um, early in my career, and I'd like to believe that I've improved on this a little bit. I don't know if my wife would agree with me entirely at home, but the key is looking for the right answer. And we touched on that before, and it's really being collaborative, and it's really taking yourself out of the equation, because a lot of times I'm not the consumer. So there might be a countertop that I want to install, and I love this red. I'm just using a random color, but I might not be the consumer. And so doing a focus group, asking other believable people, bringing other, using collaboration to find the right answer. And whether as a father talking to our children, and I might think that this is the way that I should be talking to them or teaching them or disciplining them, but is that their love language? Is that the way they need to be spoken with? Is that the way that they need to be nurtured? Is that the way that I need to show up for my wife? Does she need me to listen to her, or does she need a solution? And really taking myself out of the equation. And that's been one of the biggest evolutions of Rastegar. Is really that's the biggest risk, is when we think we're right. And Mark Twain said it best. He said, it's not what we don't know that gets us in trouble. It's what we know for sure that just ain't so. And I think that's been the biggest learning experience for me, and the thing that I've really focused on. I think some of my childhood friends would, let's say, that was a little bit more of an arrogant man uh, earlier in life. And I'm looking to find a little bit more humility there, but not humility in the sense that I think less of myself, or less confident, but thinking less about myself and thinking more about what that end user consumer is, our investors, the property themselves, the investments themselves, and all the other facets that come together.
Oh, that's great. Hey, Ari, where can the listeners go if they would like to learn more or connect with you?
Yeah, I mean, you can just Google Rastegar. I mean, it's been up there I think at the top behind us most of the time. Or you can Google Rastegar or Ari Rastegar or Rastegar Property. And it's been pretty public. We've been in the Wall Street Journal, New York Times, Forbes, countless times. So it's very, very easy to find us. Our website is just rastegarproperty.com. But a simple Google search you can find us pretty easily. We have some incredible opportunities, if I do say so myself, that could fit some certain people's risk profile. And that's our job, is to serve our consumers and serve our investors. And we'd love to hear from you. Reach out to us, and a human will definitely get back to you. In a lot of instances, I take those phone calls myself, just because I very much love the human element. I was a English major in undergrad, believe it or not. And so I'm very much still a voracious reader, and love the human element, love the conversation, and love that part of the business very, very much. So I really appreciate, you having me today, and letting me kind of spew some of my thoughts.